These are Echeveria AGAVOIDES Bloody Maria. This would have to be one of the most underrated succulent. One of my favorite succulents because of the variations of the color, depending on where it's grown and in what soil mix it's planted in. Hello there, my name is Liz, a self-confessed succulent addict. Welcome to my channel, Growing Succulents. This one is my original mother pot. I call this original mother pot because when I bought this plant a few years ago, that's what my Bloody Maria looks like. So this is a sibling to most of the Bloody Maria that you see here. So if I just take this out and that one out, and also this one, beautiful, isn't it? Out. All of this from a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, including this pot. They all came from this pot or this original plant that I had growing in this pot. What happened when I got it? It looked like that. And about a couple of weeks later, it started rotting on me, but I got it on time. So I was able to pull out a lot of the leaves that weren't rotted and eventually grew into all this beautifulness that you see here. Now, this one here is my most precious one because this is the darkest of them all. This is the bloodiest Bloody Maria, and this one is just coming onto it. This one, that one, and that one, I will tell you a secret. They are all grown in the shade. Now, this one's, okay, so this one is like full shade. This one is 50% UV bright shade. So it's more like a bright shade area, whereas this one is more like in the 50% UV shade cloth further in shaded area. So if you keep them in the shade, they will look like this. They'll be more green. But this one had a bit of a case of a root rot. And I pulled off the offending leaves that rotted because we've had so much rain lately, the past couple of years. It's been almost like saying raining non-stop, raining cats and dogs for the last couple of years. So this one had experienced a bit of rotting and I removed the leaves or the leaves that have rotted and it started growing a double head. So I am not going to complain. So, but this Bloody Maria is a sister to this one. So this one now, I would say that would have to be the stump inside there. So technically this is like the mommy plant because they all got decimated. There was nothing left. And so whatever I pulled out, the leaves that I pulled out from it, I have grown into all this gorgeousness that you see here. So these ones now, I had them growing on the fence. And they grow slow if they are grown in a pot, or should I say a small pot. If you grow them in the garden or in a bigger pot, then they're able to produce a lot more babies like this one. So you can see through there, I don't know, let's have a peek inside. See those stems coming out. Hang on, it's very hard to see in it. Okay, so it had formed like a ring around a rosy. Now, this one, I would say that would be grown from a leaf, separated from the mommy plant. I am just inspecting this. And this one, okay, is attached to the central plant. So there's 1, 2, and maybe this other one, 3, 4, that's attached. So I can see the stem. That all grew from the stem or the dead stem of the mommy plant before. So maybe this one here as well, that's probably already a baby. But at least there's 1, 2, 3, 4 that had sprung out from the mother stem. Okay, so this one as well, it grew on its own, but this is already like an old plant, the one that's in this pot here. Now, this one here are all siblings, and this one I planted in my advanced soil mix, so as this one. But where I had them grown, all of them in my advanced soil mix, and these ones here at the back, I've put them in my master succulent soil mix. So even though they're the same age as the pretty ones, the three Marias that's in the front here, they're so gorgeous. They're all showing different coloration. They are sort of slightly on the paler side, except that one there. That's just coming on to become like this one here. Look at the center of that. That's just gorgeous, like red, almost scarlet red with a hint of maroon. Burgundy. So anyway, so they are just beautiful plants, underrated. And at the moment here in Australia, you can get them from say $10 around figure. There's even some that I've seen selling them for $8. And they are very, very cheap. They're actually much cheaper than their other counterpart, which I'm going to show you later on. Now this one and this one are latecomers. They're only about 5 months old in my care. And 5 months ago, they kind of look like this. And 5 months later, look how beautiful they have grown. But they haven't matured yet. So that's why they still have a lot of the green. But the green contrasts really well with the center red or the central red. It's just beautiful. And the plant is also much bigger. And I haven't even changed the soil. So it still comes, or it's still growing in its original soil, in its original pot. So that tells me a lot about the condition of the plant, or the condition the plant likes to grow in. So if they are grown in a more organic soil mix, then they will become green and red. And if they are grown in a more grittier, rockier, a lot of decomposed granite, you can also use coconut coir with pumice or perlite. And Mifflin stone is also another name for decomposed granite. You can get it online. And also maybe some scoria or a bit of zeolite on your soil mix, then you will get the color that is similar to this 1, 2, 3, and almost that one there. But that one, of course, that's in my master succulent soil mix, which I really want to do because I really want them, I want to propagate them and make babies out of them. And you can see now there's babies growing, like look. So some are babies maybe, and some there's 2. 1, 2, and 3 on the other side as well. They're hiding. So this one plant's going to produce 3 babies offsets, but it's going to ruin mommy's figure, but it doesn't matter. So that's what I intended it for. And then of course that one you saw earlier that had 2 heads, which I can separate later on to form into 2 plants, or unless it crests up on me, then I can have one beautiful crested one. Also, I've noticed the more you expose them to full sun, the less they will color up. This one is grown out in the open, getting at least about 6 hours of sunlight, direct sunlight a day, and they are pale. And so are the ones that I planted in the garden that is open to the full spectrum of the sun. So they become pale, and they need a bit of shading, but bright. So put them in a really bright area and you will get this coloring. And also age has got a lot to do with it as well. The more mature the plant, of course, the better it's going to color up. They can't live forever. Eventually they're going to die. I don't know how long they're going to live, but this plant, this original plant, I've got now about 4 years ago. So you can see that all of these are grown from a leaf 4 years ago, and that's the size that they are grown to now. And these ones are only 5 months in my care. So I would say, based on judging by the look of the plant when I got it, that would have to be at least about 5 months old, plus now we'll say almost a year old, if it is grown in a organic rich soil. So And if you want your Bloody Maria big, then give it lots of healthy organic nutrients or also fertilizer. Now, if you want them to grow compact, then you have to give them limited fertilizer. This hasn't been fertilized at all since I potted them. So as those ones there, so that I can get the coloring. Now, most of these, or not, if not all, if I could fit it in, I am going to put them in one pot. Maybe the exceptions of a couple that's having a babies and also those two newbies here. These ones are also Bloody Maria, but they are not called Bloody Maria. These are tissue culture. So most of these plants are tissue culture anyway. So this Bloody Maria here is also a tissue culture. So I'll just turn this around. I got this about 2 years ago. And I have planted this in this propagating container, I call it. And I have a 1, 2, 3 babies so far that are grown from leaves. So, but these ones are showing nightfallness. Or okay, so I'm gonna go back now. So Echeveria AGAVOIDES Nightfall, according to online information, they are a tissue culture of Echeveria Bloody Maria. So it's not exactly known what the parentage, but this is a hybrid plant. All AGAVOIDES Bloody Maria are hybrids of unknown origin. But anyway, this Bloody Maria here is showing colors slightly similar to some of my other. Oh, that is just so gorgeous, isn't it? The tips. Isn't that beautiful? It's like fire. So I don't even know if I like the black one better or this ones, or anyway, they are just beautiful plants. And also, I'm forgetting my thought of what I'm talking about. Okay, but the Echeveria Nightfall, by the way, they can also grow quite beautiful. So this is already, you've seen earlier. These are 3 Nightfalls of the same age as this one. So this lot, all of these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, including the ones that was grown in the garden. They're all the same age and planted the same size. They were all about that size there, the small one. I put my thumb here. So compare the size. So they were all that size when I got them about a couple of years ago. And now, of course, they have grown quite big. And these ones here have remained small, having been planted in this teeny weeny little pot, and also in my advanced soil mix. But this one now has formed 2 heads as well. But isn't that beautiful? So this one now, this Echeveria Nightfall, is starting to look like this Echeveria AGAVOIDES Bloody Maria that's on the right here. So isn't that gorgeous? Look at that. It's just beautiful. I love the darkness of it. Now, also, if a Nightfall is planted in a big pot, just like that other one there, so it can grow quite large. So this one now, you can see the size difference. Look at that. So there's 2 of them in this pot, but since this is in my master succulent soil mix here, then they have grown quite big with no restrictions. This one is being restricted. This is actually in my master succulent soil mix as well. Okay. But this is grown in the shade, and that one is grown in the open or full sun. But it hasn't lost its coloration in comparison to this Bloody Maria here that has just faded away. So if I wanted to make this color up, I would now start planting this or placing it, growing it under my 50% UV shade cloth area that's sort of shaded but bright light. So watering wise, I water them when I remember, and if I don't, then they're still able to survive a long time without watering. So if the leaves started showing signs of dehydration, they become soft and wrinkly, then You can just soak this in water or seaweed solution. It's up to you. But it seems like it doesn't really matter with this plant. So, because the last time I watered, well, this once when I got this, I never watered it because we've been having so much rain. And so I never watered them. And most of them have never been watered for a long time. Also, I forgot to mention that these plants are very frost hardy. So far, the lowest temperature that this plant has experienced is -11 Celsius. So, hang on. I am so distracted. I'm sorry, guys. It's just that my budgie, I couldn't make a video inside because this budgie is just come here, distracting me. You want to say hello and show them the Bloody Maria, or you're a bloody budgie? And before I forget, I would like to greet Abba Jennings, a wonderful and a very happy birthday. Wishing you all the very best that your heart desires. Health, wealth, love and happiness, and also a whole lot of succulents. So that's all for this video, guys. So I hope I'm able to share some information on how to grow these beautiful things. Thank you so much for watching and hope I'll see you on the next video. Oh, aren't they beautiful? Look at them, gorgeous plants. I love them. I love my Bloody Maria.